Hi everyone! In this video, I'm gonna be making 6 different types of Japanese potato salad. Later on, I'll show you how to make the classic Japanese potato salad and a version you can make without any mayo. If you wanna skip straight to the classic one, just check the chapters in the description box. Okay, so first step, we are making a potato salad with sausage and egg. For the potatoes, honestly, any kind should work fine. I'm using danshaku potatoes, which are like the most common ones in Japan, I think. A lot of people in Japan also love using Make Clean potatoes. Do you guys have a lot of different potato types in your country? In Japan, you usually only find like 2 types at the supermarket. Some people say it's best to boil potatoes with the skin on, but that takes forever. So I always peel them, chop them into small pieces, and then boil them. I stir them in cold water. The idea is that as the water slowly heats up, the starch in the potatoes gradually turns into a paste. This is supposed to give you a really fluffy texture. Boil them for about 10 to 30 minutes, and they are ready when they fall apart easily when you poke them with a fork. Once they are cooked, drain the water and mash them while they are still hot. I mashed them pretty well, but some people prefer to leave some chunks for a more texture bite. If that's you, just mash them a little less. If you want a super smooth texture, when we add the milk later, just add a bit more and work it until it gets nice and silky. Even with mashing them like I do, there are still some tiny chunks left, so you still get some texture. The potatoes are good to go. Let them cool. Today, I'm going to fry the onion and sausage together. When making classic Japanese potato salad, some people add onion and some don't. If you do add onion, a lot of people use it raw. Frying the onion brings out its sweetness, so that's what I'm gonna do today. This is a classic Japanese sausage. We call it wieners. Use whatever kind of sausage you can get your hands on. Heat some oil in a fry pan and start by frying the onion. Cook it over medium heat until slightly brown. That really brings out the flavor. Once the onion is soft, add the sausage. We always cook these sausages, but you can actually eat them straight out of the package. I was so surprised when I found that out. These Japanese wieners are usually smoked, and you can really taste the smoky flavor if you eat them raw, but I still prefer to fry them in a little oil in a fry pan. Okay, time to season it. Add salt and pepper and consomme. Consomme is a stock powder made with vegetable and meat extract, but you can use whatever you have. Only salt and pepper are fine too. Mix it well. That's done, but it's better to let it cool down before mixing it with the potatoes. Let it come to room temperature. Since we're gonna add mayonnaise later, I think it's best if both the potatoes and the sausage are cool. If they're still warm, the mayonnaise is more likely to separate, and you'll taste the mayonnaise better if the other ingredients are cool. Before mixing the mashed potato with other ingredients, I'll add a little milk to make it smoother. This is non-fat milk, but any kind works. Maybe the potatoes would have cooled down faster if I had added the milk right after mashing them. Mix it with a spatula and make sure the milk is evenly distributed. And the potatoes are nice and moist. This step is really important. I've already made some hard-boiled eggs. Now it's time to cut them up. Cut them however you like. Boil them to your liking too. I'm only using 1 egg, but 2 is totally fine. I'll save a little bit for topping later. Once you've added the egg, sprinkle on some salt and pepper. The amount of salt and pepper depends on how many potatoes and eggs you have, so adjust it to your liking. You can add more when you taste it at the end. I'll keep it light for now. Add the sausage and a tiny bit of sugar and black pepper. I've added some coarsely ground pepper in addition to the salt and pepper I added earlier. A tiny bit of sugar also helps to bring out the flavor, I think. And finally, add the mayonnaise. Adjust the amount of mayonnaise to your liking. A good rule of thumb is about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise for every 200 grams of potatoes. Taste and add more to get your preferred richness. And most importantly, please use Japanese mayonnaise. I'm using Kewpie mayonnaise. We've actually been using Kewpie half for about a year now. Of course, the regular Kewpie is more rich, but the half version is still super delicious. Finish it off with some more pepper and you're done. Okay, next up, I'm gonna show you a potato salad with pickled plum, umeboshi, and edamame, which is perfect as a snack with drinks. This one is so good, my husband and I were like, we could totally open an izakaya with this. I'm using frozen edamame, so I'll just defrost it in the microwave for a bit. You can totally use any kind of bean you like instead of edamame. Just warm it up in the microwave for about 30 seconds at 500 watt. Then you can just leave it at room temperature and it should be good to go. Remove the pit from the pickled plum and chop them finely. I used about 1.5 pickled plum for 200 grams of potatoes. But you can adjust the amount to your liking. The saltiness of the plums goes so well with the potatoes. Just chop them up finely with a knife like this. For the potatoes, just boil them like I did in the first recipe, so I'll skip that part. I put the pickled plum in the bowl with the potatoes, but then I remembered I need to mix the milk with the potato first. And I'm also gonna add some finely chopped shisa leaves. You can use basil as a substitute. I've never tried pickled plum and basil together, but it sounds like they'd be a great match. It's perfect when you have edamame, pickled plum, and shisa all together, but it's also fun to find alternatives for each of them. It seems kinda hard to find a substitute for pickled plum though. Add a little milk to the mashed potato and mix it well. This one step makes the potatoes so moist and really delicious. add all the ingredients, and then add the seasonings. First, the most important, Kewpie mayonnaise. Then menteu, it's noodle soup base. Sugar and black pepper. If you don't have menteu, you can use soy sauce instead, or soy sauce plus a little bit of dashi powder. Mix everything well, and it's done. The saltiness of the pickled plum is pretty strong, so I didn't add any extra salt this time, but taste it and add more if you need it. Pickled plum and mayonnaise go so well together. What an awesome discovery! I pair this with a beer. It's the best combination ever. Alright, this next potato salad is also from my Snack for Drinks series. If I ever open an izakaya, I definitely want to put this one on the menu too. This time, I'm gonna chop the cucumber into small cubes. I usually slice cucumbers thinly when I put them in potato salad. But when you cut them like this, you get a nice crunchy texture. Cucumbers have a bit of grassy flavor, so I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and sugar and mix it well. Let it sit for a bit, and once the moisture comes out, make sure you wipe it off thoroughly. As before, add a little milk to the potatoes and mix. You'll probably need to adjust the amount of milk depending on the type of potatoes you use, and how moist you want it is up to you too. It's best to add a little at a time and see how it goes. Next, I'm gonna add some shio kombu, salted kombu. Shio kombu is a food made by simmering kombu with soy sauce and other seasonings, and the main ingredients are kombu, soy sauce, sugar, and salt. It's packed with umami, and it's so flavorful that it can make any dish amazing just by adding it. I had some shiso left over, so I'm gonna add a few leaves to enhance the flavor even more. The cucumbers have released some moisture, so I'm gonna wipe them with a paper towel. It's a must to remove all the moisture from the ingredients that go into potato salad. And then I'm gonna add a little sesame oil. This is key. When using shio kombu, I highly recommend using sesame oil as a set. Shio kombu is full of umami and goes well with everything, but sometimes the seaweed has a bit of distinct smell, and the sesame oil helps to get rid of that. Add it in a way that it coats the shio kombu. Then add mayonnaise. Soy sauce, sugar, and rice vinegar, and mix well. If the rice vinegar is too strong, it will clash with the kombu, so just add a little. By the way, can you guys get shio kombu in your area? It's a super versatile ingredient that you can mix in with rice or pasta, put it on top of tofu, and use it in so many other dishes. So if you see it, please try it. You can also buy it online, and I put a link in the food category of my tools and seasonings section in the description box. Check it out! Finally, I sprinkle on some white sesame seeds. This potato salad also goes perfectly with beer. Of course, any other alcohol is great too. Cheers! Okay, next up we are making a curry flavored potato salad. First, thinly slice a cucumber. It's hard and stressful to slice cucumbers thinly with a knife, so I really rely on the slicer I bought at a 100 yen store. Add some salt. Mix well. And wait for the moisture to come out. Then slice an onion. And the sausage is back again. You can adjust the amount of these to your liking. If you like a lot of ingredients, you can add even more. You could also slice a carrot thinly and add a little. Since the theme this time is curry. Fry the onion in a fry pan. Add a little oil and fry until the onion is soft. Once it's soft, add the sausage. So far, this is the same as the first recipe, right? But it's different from here on. Turn off the heat for a moment and add a little curry powder, sugar, salt and pepper, sake, and soy sauce. Keep the salt and pepper light for now, and add more after tasting it at the end. Let's cook this down until all the moisture is gone. If you don't have sake, you can substitute it with white wine or just skip it. Transfer this to a bowl and let it cool. As usual, boil the potatoes until they are soft enough, then mash them with a fork. While they are still warm, add a little butter and let it melt. And this time too, I'm gonna add milk to make it smooth and moist. Squeeze the cucumber with your hands to remove as much moisture as you can. It's even better if you wipe it with a paper towel too. The cucumber still has the salt on it, so you don't need to rinse it. After squeezing it, it'll have a slight salty taste. I'm gonna add a little curry powder here. I wanted to make sure the potatoes have a good curry flavor, so I added it here. Then add the mayonnaise. And the cooked onion and sausage. Mix it well. Potatoes are must in curry, right? So there is no way a curry flavored potato salad can be bad. Taste it and add salt and pepper if needed. Add some black pepper to your liking. I sprinkle on some paprika powder to make it look colorful. Okay, finally here it is, the classic Japanese potato salad. First, mince an onion. This time I'm mixing it in raw. But if I leave it like this, it'll be too pungent, so I'm gonna wrap it in a paper towel like this. If you do this, it'll lose almost all of its pungent taste without having to soak it in water. You can also soak it in water and then wipe it with a paper towel. When you think of classic potato salad, you think of cucumber. Some people only use half the amount of cucumber and add just a little compared to the potatoes. But my husband and I like a lot of cucumber, so we're gonna use the whole thing. Slice it thinly with the slicer and sprinkle on some salt. Mix well and wait for about 3 minutes for the moisture to come out of the cucumber. Boil the potatoes, mash them, and let them cool. I often do the mashing step ahead of time and add the other ingredients right before dinner. Add some finely chopped ham, and add the onion after you've removed all the moisture. Usually I'd add mayonnaise here, but today I'm using a special mayonnaise sauce. Prepare an egg yolk and add mayonnaise and rice vinegar. This makes it more rich and flavorful. I know a lot of people can't eat raw eggs, so if you're one of them, just skip this step. Instead, add mayonnaise and a little rice vinegar. Before mixing this sauce, I'm gonna add a little milk. As always, I added it to make it smooth. But this egg yolk sauce is pretty runny, so I probably could have skipped the milk this time. If you're not using the egg yolk, you should definitely use the milk as usual. Just like in the previous recipe, squeeze the cucumber firmly with your hands to remove the water before adding it to the bowl. Add the mayonnaise sauce and mix well. Add a little sugar and black pepper. The cucumber has a little saltiness, so I didn't add any salt. But taste it and add more to your liking. I often make classic potato salad without onion, but I added it this time after a while. Once I drained it well, it almost felt like I added apples. I was surprised. It wasn't pungent at all, and it was delicious. My husband still doesn't like raw onion though. Okay, so I made this kinda different potato salad, no mayo, you know? And it was actually really good and surprisingly refreshing. I peeled and cubed the potato like usual, then boiled them. But this time I tossed in some sliced onions with the potatoes to boil together. The star of the show this time is bacon. I cut it up into small pieces. So I started the potatoes in cold water, boiled them for about 10 to 30 minutes, and then added the onions for the last 3 minutes or so. The bacon I fried up in the pan until it was super crispy. I guess many of you bake your bacon in the oven without cutting it. I haven't used bacon in cooking much lately, so just smelling it cooking made me really happy. Anyway, I added the onion to the pot with the potatoes and let them get all sweet. The bacon got nice and crispy, and I removed some of the extra oil with a paper towel. When the potatoes were so soft they were about to fall apart when I poked them with a fork, I drained the water. The onion can get pretty watery, so I made sure to wipe them dry before mashing everything. Since we are skipping the mayo, you can season everything while it's still hot. I added salt, sugar, rice vinegar, and olive oil. I put a good amount of rice vinegar so it's got a nice tang, which makes it kinda new and delicious. If you're not into super tangy stuff, go easy on the rice vinegar. Maybe you guys are more used to apple cider vinegar or something. You can totally use whatever kind of vinegar you like. Finally, I added the crispy bacon. I try not to get too much extra oil in there. I saved a little bit for topping later. The refreshing part with the rich, salty bacon is a really great combo, super balanced. The onions add a nice gentle sweetness too. Don't forget the black pepper. I topped it off with the extra crispy bacon, and that's it. Thanks for taking a look at my 6 potato salad. You should totally try making your own version of potato salad. Experiment and see what you like.